I'm working 9 to 5, this 9 to 5 don't work for me. I gotta find my way about this ain't how it's supposed to be. Feel like I'm settling for less, that's why I gotta leave. They may not understand it, it's not for them to see. Cause it's my vision and it's not yours, no. And you won't get it until reverse rolls around and around. I put my dreams on hold, you told me how that sound. I wish my dreams could pay cause I work for right now. Ain't had nobody yesterday gon' hold me down. Voila.
Hey everybody, this Let's Vamonos episode is sponsored by Moxie Salon Studio, located on 2401 North Shepherd at the Phoenix Salon Suites. Emily is my hair salon stylist, and she's always able to make sure that my hair is at its best. So go check her out. Before we get our episode started today, I really want to talk about something really super special that we're doing this month. I'm collabing with the Shop Local Market Space for National Latina Day HTX Market, which is on August 20th, 2022. It will be on a Saturday. Come out here at the Ironworks building and come celebrate with us to support Latina-owned businesses. We'll also have a panelist group of wonderful Latinas that have worked in all industries, and we'll be able to chat and connect and empower each other, and also hear wonderful women speak about what it's been like to be a Latina in the industry of education, of advocacy work, and also entrepreneurship. So you can register at the Eventbrite link, where all you have to do is go in, register. It's for free. It is a free community event, so just come out with us and join, and we'll be able to celebrate together. This is Let's Vamonos, and we're here at the Ironworks Milby building off the 711 Milby, and we're here to check out some of the vintage clothes that they have here. We have $10 racks, y'all. Like, you cannot beat $10 vintage clothes, but let's go see what they have inside. So as you can see, there's an assortment of vintage curated clothing here, some of the best out there. All your vintage items are right here at your hands. Hey everybody, this is Let's Vamonos, and I'm your host, Desiree. We are here at the 711 Milby Street Cargo Vintage Ladies Spot Pink Couch, and we are celebrating our August episode this week with a lovely guest, Monica Flores. Thanks so much, Monica, for being here.
Yes.
We're really excited to have you. Today our episode is going to be about relationships and also coaching and financials. So tell us a little bit about how relationships, money, and financials correlate with us.
Well, it does definitely correlate quite a bit, because relationships have a lot to do with money, and your relationship with money has a lot to do with your relationships, you know, as couples, as marriage and your marriage. Your finances do come together, and your finances is something that both husband and wife need to come together on, be able to communicate about, be able to have the same priorities, come together with their priorities, come together with their goals, so that they can plan together and come together with their finances and plan for those goals.
Yeah. When I first met Monica, we talked a lot about that, about how each couple comes from a different background of how money is in those relationships prior to.
Yes.
And chatting with you, I really kind of was like, that is so true. Relationship building really correlates with money as well. So it's not just also relationship building with your spouse, but relationship building with business, with other people. So I thought that was really interesting regarding those things. Any, I guess, examples of common mistakes that some couples make regarding relationships and the financial situations?
Some of the common mistakes that I see is that they're not communicating. And that's really the most important thing, is they're not communicating about the financials. They're not communicating about the priorities. They're not communicating about their dreams and their goals, so that they can come together with that. So the other kinds of things I do see is trying to keep things separate instead of coming together with their financials.
Right.
And I try and bring them together. You're in a marriage, you're together, you're one. Let's bring in even the financials together. We can still work as using a little bit of your play money, maybe a little bit of his play money, but we want the communication to be there, the honesty really to be there, so that nobody's hiding anything. To be able to keep those books per se open. You know, okay, I'm doing this, where I'm not feeling guilty about, hey, I'm going to go get my hair cut, go get my nails done, and your husband, oh, I'm going to go play golf, and that's fine and that's okay, but being able to be open about it and communicate about it is the biggest thing, and I don't see that very often.
Right, and it almost gives a sense of you're empowering both couples, right?
Absolutely.
Or both people that are a part of the relationship.
Yes.
So, great advice. Definitely, I have been in both of those situations, money together, money separate, like we've kind of done it all. One of the other things, though, I wanted to talk about regarding relationships is me and you actually connected about another podcaster who talked about the sandwich generation.
Yes.
So, for those that don't know, tell us what the sandwich generation is.
The sandwich generation was coined by some social workers back in the 80s. And basically what that is it's almost an inevitable type of situation per se that you'd be in. And your sandwich generation is going to be where you're a person or a couple and you're caring for your aging parents. And you're still trying to raise your young kids, possibly young adult kids, and worrying about them. So the sandwich generation is a very complex situation that they find themselves in that nobody really talks about. And it's pretty sad because their situation is not so unique, but it's not so much talked about or enlightenment around their situation, because they have to worry about their parents. They have to even think about their financial situation. If they didn't have a good upbringing or if as a couple, either parents didn't teach you about money, maybe they don't understand it themselves about money. They might find themselves in a situation. And yet you're still trying to bring up your kids. Okay, well, do I send them to college? Do I pay for their college? What about myself?
Do I pay for the baseball trips
and
the baseball?
Exactly. All the extracurricular activities, ballet, dance for some of the girls. But how do you take care of yourself also for your own future and your retirement? So the sandwich generation is really what that is. You're the meat between the two sandwiches, your older generation and your younger generation. So you're right there, smack dab in the middle. And there's just so many stressors involved, even relationships with your parents, relationships with your siblings. How are we going to take care of mom and dad? What is their financial situation? What's it going to look like if they move in? What if my husband doesn't get along with my mother?
all of those moving parts.
Yes. Yeah. But yet little Johnny wants to go to, University of Texas. How are we going to pay for that? But how are we going to, it's just having those discussions and talking about that and making sure that couples are still taking care of themselves. Because the biggest thing that I hope to work with is ending that generational type of cycle. So we definitely, as parents, want the best for our children. I mean, we all do. But if we continue not to take care of ourselves and leave it up to them to take care, the whole cycle just continues. So if we have to take care of our parents and having to do that, you want to take care of yourself first. Yes, you can take care of your parents and work that in there, but let's end the whole cycle.
Yeah, and I'm glad you mentioned that because one of the things that I really admired about you, Monica, regarding the way you do coaching and all of that is about really that relationship building, because that's just a lot. We don't talk a lot about it.
No.
And we just think like, oh, well, if we're not getting along, we're just not meant to work together to some extent. But it's really about learning how to build those relationships. And also, those relationships are affected and through our whole stages of life. Parents, brother and sister, spouse, work relationships. I mean, you name it. It is literally the foundation of what we do. So, and I'm glad you talked about the generational cycle, because that is something that specifically us Latinas, we grow up with not knowing or being well educated in the financial realm,
Right.
learning how to save and learning how to take care of ourselves as well, and being able to end those cycles and the stigmas, right?
Right.
The stigmas that come along with that. What I really want to talk about is how can we empower those women out there, specifically us Latinas, to break those cycles? How can we do that?
We can definitely have the money conversations.
Right.
And nobody really likes to talk about money. And that's something it's talking about, oh, well, how much are you earning? How much are you making? And some people want to be closed off about that. And especially as Latinos and Latinas, we were taught, no, you just don't talk about money. You don't talk about those kinds of things. But we need to have that open conversation and be able to empower each other with that and let them know that money is definitely unlimited.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's out there for you. Let's empower you to be able to go out and reach those goals for that. So it's about communicating, it's about educating and letting them know even just the basics on some of the things. Sometimes young Latinas, they may not know how to open up a banking account. They might not know how to really save. So we just start with just the basics and what that can do for them.
Right.
Money isn't just about being able to buy the fancy car or the jewelries or the dresses and all that. It's about being able to have choices.
Right.
Money is about choices
And opportunities.
And opportunities,
Yeah.
absolutely.
One of the things I've heard a lot recently, the topic has come up about sharing how much you earned with your coworkers and all of that. That's always a big taboo, right?
Yeah.
Like you would never share that personal information, but recently a lot of specifically women, not just Latina women, but women have realized that they're getting underpaid.
Exactly.
And so definitely we have to have those conversations
Absolutely.
about, hey, am I getting what I'm valued?
Yeah. Show your worth. Know your worth more
Yeah.
than anything.
Yeah. Tell us a little bit how you could do that for some of those women out there.
Well, if I work with some of these women, whether they be women of color or just any women, I actually just help with just the basics. I find out where they're at, because most importantly, what do you know about money? You know, where are you at? And we talk about your dreams, your goals, and savings. Okay, if you're working and you work for a company and they offer a 401k, okay, let's talk about that. What is a 401k? You know, it's starting with the education with that so that they can save for longer term. Okay, well, what do you want to save for maybe some of the short term? Maybe some of these women want to start their own businesses.
Right.
So how can we implement something to be able to start that, whether it's starting with just a budget. You know, some of these women don't know what a budget is, or even you get the stigma of, oh, it's a budget, oh my gosh, I'm so restrictive, and I can't
get my nails done.
I can't do it, and it's all about the can'ts, but that's not what it's about.
Right.
And so I try and change their mindset. Okay, we're not going to call it a budget, we're going to call it a spending plan. Why? Because we want to spend our money, right? We want to spend our money on nails. We want to spend our money on some more makeup. So let's call it, we're going to tell our money what to do. We're going to tell our money how to be spent and have those choices with it. So being able to change their mindset more than anything.
Yeah, I love that. So I'm really glad we got to sit down and chat with you, and hopefully we bring some awareness regarding this topic, and also some empowerment for this topic as well, for not just Latina women, but for all women, because it's definitely an important topic. But how can we support you, or maybe if we're interested in learning how to do a spending budget, where can we reach you at?
Yes, I have a website. It's monicaflorescoaching.com. You can reach me on Instagram and both Facebook. Also at Monica Flores Coaching.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Monica, so much for sitting here with me on the couch and getting that information out there to our supporters. We're really glad that we are able to have these conversations, and to be able to support, uplift, and inspire all those women out there that might need it, or just, have that sense of security.
Yes.
So, as always, guys, thank y'all for the love and support, and let's vamonos. Bye.
Bye.
Don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss our next episode. Thank you to our sponsors for all the love and support.